This is part 3 of Inviting ET Real CE5 Contact Stories 2018. So, why do they, telepathic nations, do that in the first place? Why not let us remember? Why don't the Ponty or other telepathic star nations allow us to easily recall our interactions with them? Tilcom tells us there is a written agreement in place that will be ending soon. And he also says that the Ponty have a, quote, cause no fear, do no harm, leave no trace mission protocol that they must adhere to. Contacting people in Alpha Theta state helps them with keeping things under control so that no one hurts themselves or others. It keeps the Earth humans' fears in check, and it provides the Star Nation an opportunity for extended teaching and dialogue. On a related topic, we fielded all kinds of questions from contactees, and one of those is the subject of screen memories. So, what's a screen memory? The best description I can give you, in order to attempt to cause you no fear, a telepathic ET will look into your own memories and attempt to select one that they believe that you will accept as non-threatening. We've spoken to people who have screen memories of giant owls or very tall bunny rabbits, um, as well as screen memories of, quote, Earth humans, unquote. I personally have witnessed ET twice attempt to portray themselves as an Earth animal right in front of me. The first time uh, the Ponty did this, for reasons I do not understand, they attempted to portray themselves as a 4 foot tall baby shark. It stood on its hind tail, or flippers, and had gray skin and large, dark, almond shaped eyes that spoke telepathically, and I remember saying to it, "You're not a shark." The second time was an oversized gray squirrel, again with large, dark, almond shaped eyes that very, very slowly floated down from a dark night sky, seemingly out of nowhere, landed on the ground in front of me, and sat there looking at me expectantly, as if to say, "You believe I'm really a gray squirrel from Earth, right?" "Yeah, right," I said. When the Twitter followers first began to learn some of the protocols for contact set out by the Ponty, one of the first things they taught us is to send up their brightest telepathic hello into the night sky. Teeny taught us the translation for this standard greeting is, quote, hello the clouds, unquote. It does not matter if there's a cloud in the sky at the time you send up your greeting. You're simply using the phrase as a hello to any star nation in a craft that has the capability of generating its own cloud camouflage. After you send up your hello and introduce yourself, they've taught us to ask any pilot who can telepathically hear you to please double blink their ship's lights. The unofficial name for this request is called blink blink. Very scientific. Twitter followers have filmed this requested blink blink, and if you're interested in seeing it, visit the evidence page of officialfirstcontact.com. One of our contactees in Kentucky, whose name is Jack, had to prove to himself that the instructions in the primer were indeed valid and not, in his words, a load of crap, quote unquote. Jack's had several interactions with the Ponty over the past 6 months, and the first time he ever went outside to try his hello the clouds, he was instantly greeted by a skipper ship that shot up through the trees from the woods next to his rural farm property. Jack also regularly practices telepathy as he walks the roads near his farmhouse after dark and has reported seeing the Ponty or one of the star nations in person, and they materialized in front of him, stayed there for several seconds, sure that he could see them, and then dematerialized right in front of him again. Another one of our contactees, Darrell Stokes in Sedona, Arizona, is a massage therapist by day and a paranormal photographer by night. And he's experienced contact in his home, but when one of his massage therapy clients said, Darrell, I don't know how to tell you this, but there's an ET standing in the corner while he was working on her at his massage therapist studio one day. He said, "Oh, yeah, what do they look like?" And she described them: large head, dark almond shaped eyes, skinny body, big smile. She said, "He's not doing anything but observing us, and he seems really happy." And after they were all done, Darrell happened to have a copy of our Inviting ET book in his office. And he picked up the book and showed her the cover, and Peter was on the cover. And his client said, "That's him. That's the guy I saw. Right down to the smile. That's exactly him." She had no idea that Durrell was a paranormal photographer, had any interaction with the Ponty, and knew nothing of the Ponty herself. Apparently, radio show hosts who have interviewed us since the launch of the book are also not immune. In the month of September of 2018 alone, uh, four separate radio show hosts, after saying on air, "Oh, the Ponty can come visit me, that'd be great," got visits whether they were skeptics or believers. Um, and their families got visits. One host down in the Brisbane, Australia area had his lady friend and himself both get visited within 10 days of flippantly saying on air, "Oh, they can come visit me. That'd be great." Yeah, well, they aren't skeptics anymore. What's it like to talk to the Ponty every day? Well, first, telepathic input comes in lots and lots of layers and can feel like a lot. It's not just hearing words in your head, guys. A telepathic ping can have images, emotions, words, history, and a whole bunch of other details that all get delivered in the blink of an eye. Let me give you an example. The first time Drudy used the word fly kiting with us, and see the image of the bird flock forming an image of a bird in flight? Well, that's fly kiting. We asked her to explain this Ponty art sport to us. And what came back were multiple layers of emotional elation, the physical feeling of soaring linked with thousands of birds, the idea of how they merged with them, the flock's own emotions coming back at us, the history of the art in the air and in the ocean. Apparently, you can do it with large schools of fish. The feeling of being perched on a thick branch, swaying high in the Amazon canopy at sunset, watching parrot flocks do their rise of their last flight for the night. I mean, all of this information came back in one simultaneous chunk in under 2 seconds. When we finally translated it back down for Twitter after some discussion, it translated as, "We telepathically merge with bird flocks to create moving images in the sky." Can kind of lose something in translation. I think I like Judy's original explanation best. So, what other kind of things that the Ponty asked us? Oh my gosh. Well, it runs the gamut. In the first 6 months of this year alone, we fielded the following questions from new trainees in their first time ever visiting an Earth human home, happened to be our home. And so the kind of questions we got were, does shaving hurt? Are tattoos a leadership display? What happens to the hairs in your hairbrush? Does the opening go in the front or the back of men's underwear? What makes a word naughty? What makes a lie white? Did you learn moonwalking on the moon? What do you do with the foil from Hershey's Kisses after you eat them? Is there a ritual? Does Earth have an official song people sing? What's your universal greeting gesture? We are learning so much from the Ponty right now, guys, that we cannot get the information out as fast as it's coming in to us. We just don't have the man hours. We are accepting volunteer help and donations, by the way. Any profits from the sales of t-shirts or books or anything goes directly back toward our behind the scenes expenses toward officialfirstcontact.com. And anything that you could do to help, you can send donations to us or request the email to send them to through PayPal. We don't have a whole lot of time left, but I wanted to show you some of the greeting gestures that Tilcom had taught us to before we go. There's a few gestures and protocols and do's and don'ts that they've mentioned. First, don't assume that you can touch a Star Nation person unless you ask. So as much as you want to hug one of our Sandia Mountain crew, ask them first. Second, for Star Nations that have claws, thrusting your claws, i.e. your fingernails, out suddenly to somebody else or towards somebody else can be considered a threat. So instead, they teach us that the quote namaste gesture of fingertips and palms together, pointing up over your chest, is fairly universally understood. They also taught us the holding the bowl gesture or offering the bowl gesture. And offering the bowl, take your namaste hands and form a bowl with your two hands together, like in the illustration below or on the screen here. And so if you do that, it means welcome. It's an inviting gesture, means I have something for you. You can take that empty bowl of your hands and gesture it toward a chair. I have a place for you to sit. You can gesture it toward food. I invite you to eat this food. So you can use those gestures with just about any star nation. The Ponty are very spiritual people, and they believe in the collective consciousness and the interconnectedness of all things through time and space. They also believe in the power of love and unconditional love and creator. And Tilcom taught us that there's a way that spiritual people, specifically in their culture, say goodbye to one another. It's 4 lines and it comes with 4 separate hand gestures. And it's I hold the light for you. I breathe in the light with you. We exhale our light together and share light breath with all. So I hold the light with you as one hand cupped, like you see Tilcom in this illustration. Now take that cupped hand and form a circle with your pointer finger and your thumb, and breathe in through that circle like you might sip through a straw. That's the gesture near your mouth for I breathe in the light with you. So form a circle and go, I breathe in the light with you. Then open that hand gently. Spread your fingers apart toward the other person. We exhale our light together, and then take those open fingers and gesture up to the sky and share light breath with all. The Ponty tell us they are actively listening for new telepathic voices and seeking out those individuals who are mature, honest, right minded, and ready to put aside their fears. They know that telepathic contact can feel like a lot at first, and will often, with selected individuals, gradually, steadily increase their repeated contact so that longer and longer conversations can be had without their contactees going on overload. If you truly feel you are ready for your own CE5, our friend Commander Tilcom has some recommendations. He says, if you wish to meet your intergalactic cousins, I have a suggestion. Change your telepathy practice from haphazard to something you are committed to daily. We are listening and will respond kindly when we see you are ready. I'm going to wrap up our presentation now, and I think I want to leave you with something that Otter said earlier this year. He summarized our recommendations to all of you quite nicely one day. And he said, expect the unexpected. Be ready for anything. Your CE5 experience will become more monumental the more willing and open you are to the unexpected. Be willing to accept whatever. I will leave you with an informal parting greeting that the Ponty taught us. Guys, wear your day with ease. This has been Sue Walker, and you've been listening to Inviting ET, Real CE5 Contact Stories 2018. Hit the like button below, subscribe, stop over to Twitter, visit the @SandiaWisdom page, tell the gang hi, and ask a question if you need to. I hope they can respond in a timely manner. And we wish you well and wear your day with ease.